excited right now because whether you know this or not, on my Instagram, which you guys should go follow, I asked a lot of different people what I should start customizing. And I got a lot of great ideas, and because of that, I actually went to the store and got a lot of them. So here's some of the ideas that I got. First off, we have plates. Don't know why, but I feel we can do something pretty cool with these. And then once you hear plates, other plates, we got mugs, which is pretty nice. Then I heard a little something about a hat. We'll get this nice and branded for us. Bandanas, which I think I got one in white and one in black. Thought that was actually pretty cool. I feel a nice flyer or something for my business. That would look nice. Then we got a hoodie. I feel that'll be real nice. Rock this almost everywhere I go, especially with the weather changing and all that. I feel that'll be a nice one. Then we got some basic shirts. I heard a lot of different color shirts. They were like black, red, blue. This is just a few I got. I feel those should actually be something nice to try out too. Okay, so I don't want to just talk about what I got, but I think I'll actually make a shirt, and I'm gonna start off with the black shirt. I know you're probably thinking, so what, didn't you just do a shirt? Yeah, but this is different because on dark colored shirts, you need a different type of paper, you need a different type of transfer. And as you can see, this was actually printed normal, so on the white ones that I made, they were reversed. This one is not, and you'll see why in a second. But I think I'm gonna actually start by cutting these out, get my heat press warmed up, and let's get to work. Okay, as you can see, this is not my same design. This part is a little different than this, which as you see before. And this is because I'm making a brand, and kind of like Nike, even though Nike is just like one symbol, they have different designs. So that's my main thing. I'm trying to make different designs. And this is dark transfer paper, which is different from light transfer paper. And the difference is you cannot have any excess. So if I was to leave a piece out, like I did with my white ones, that would show up. And that is not what you want. It will just be regular blobs just everywhere. So as you see, I have an X-Acto knife, and I'm kind of just doing a rough sketch for this part, just to make sure I don't screw anything up with the other ones. And I'm gonna go back in a second and make it a lot neater, a lot closer, and make sure I at least get it to where if I do have a white piece, it's consistent, excuse me, but it's consistent all the way around, and that way it'll at least look uniform and look like it was on purpose. So as you can see, I'm going just a rough etch around the big J, and I'm actually going to leave the Joker pieces in there for now because I don't want to have those all out and mix those up with my light and dark, have those all mixed up. And the reason being is the last thing I need is to put a light on a dark or a dark on a light and then just screw up and waste it. Screw up both a shirt or whatever I'm using and the transfer paper. That's like one of the worst things you can do. So I'm just go ahead and go through this and get a nice rough cut. Okay, so I did get my J and the crown cut out, but it's down to the word. And the thing is with the word, cutting out each individual letter would be more of a hassle than just leaving some white on there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my scissors and get as nice as close as possible. And the reason I skipped that part of the video, unlike my first one, is because I did have to go into extreme detail to make sure everything I got was right. Like if you look, I have like zero white, a little bit of the crown, but that was kind of hard to get because of the circles at the top. But then with this part, because I'm gonna have the words later, you want to get as close to the letters as possible without doing it. So I'm gonna use my scissors. Now I'm gonna switch to the X-Acto knife, and I'm gonna come in and literally get whatever I can without screwing it up. I didn't turn the heat press on, which I'm doing as of right now. Try to make sure I get a good view, and it's still cool, so I don't unlock. And what I'm end up doing is I'm gonna put on my black shirt, and the reason being is I know there's more to do with the there's more to do with, sorry, lost my train of thought. There's more to do with the iron on. For example, first off, I do line it up in the middle the exact same like I've been telling you guys. line it up with the tag on the little gray part. That's what I do. I line up middle tag, take the shoulder piece, get my pinkies on the seam of the sleeve. That way I can kind of just like line it up, and I can feel around. Use your guide marks, peoples. It will come in handy. And if you choose to, you can actually leave the tags showing. But for me, I have enough comfort, enough comfort, just I can get it right without doing so. Cool, lock that in place. Now with the transfer, the reason I did not heat it up, I will swing this back over because I have to prevent burning myself, is because there is more to do. For dark transfer papers, what you have to do is you have to get this back piece off. And it can be kind of tricky, actually be very tricky. So sometimes I'll find a little corner piece where I didn't get everything just right. I'll use my X-Acto knife, kind of like just poke a hole and just scratch at it. Because the main thing I need is for this to come off. Cool, I got it. It actually took a while for me to get, but then you should get a nice even peel. It'll look real nice when it comes off. And don't worry, this piece is not sticky. So when you do it, you don't have to worry about that. And you get them, just pull it all the way off. And you do want to be very careful with it, because if you go too fast, you could risk ripping it, especially with a sharp corner like I just had. And then, boom. I already did my crown, and then I gotta do my customization word. I did get my word out. Actually, I skipped it because it was kind of challenging. I want to have you guys see me struggle. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swing my heat press that way, make sure it's nice and clean off. And before lining this up, actually I want to iron it, which I skipped. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna give it a nice press, make sure it's on there pretty nice, and give it some time. Which I don't even think this was on there. So I want to lower it. And I can look down here to see that it hasn't even touched it yet. So clearly, we can give it a little, speed it up a little bit, and boom, feel it tightening up. That's how I know I'm doing it right. I can lift it up, push it back down, get a test. Just want it lowered a little bit more. So when I do it, I want it to be able to lock that so, and because my 350 is ready, boom. So I do have a nice iron shirt, and the thing with this one is, the reason it's face up is because you were not putting it the typical way. And this design I actually made slightly too big, but it should line up nicely to where I can put that, my word, and then my crown, and it'll still be at the top of the shirt. But as I can see, my middle piece, I want to slide it over. You do want this perfect because, well, you only get one shot. And then you want to take this parchment paper, which comes in the packet with it, and you'll line it over. And when doing this, you should be able to see everything is right. But I was able to just look, I can see that this is slanted, so I want to turn this so that it's facing straight up. It is lined straight up, and that is lined straight up, which everything is aligned perfectly. And then put the paper on it, just prevent it from curling, which you just saw it doing. Put it in there, slide it in, and put it over. I do want to lock this because of the type of way this is. You don't want to mess this up. I really don't want to mess this up. So I'm going to lock it. Locking it is like my safety measure. Hit, press, count down. Typically while I was counting down, I'll start cutting out my other design, which this is going to be the back. But because I know it's going to take a long time, this takes such precise measurements, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to wait. And because this is almost up. So give it this last few seconds. Hit it up. Unlock it from the back and do a nice swing. Now from this one you should be able to see, just remove the paper, that is going to be the final design. So you want to move this nice and slow. And that is final, that is on there. Looks pretty nice, but you do want to let this dry, but I'm not convinced that it's all the way down. So for this, I'm actually going to put this on there for a little bit longer, Not 45 seconds, I'm just gonna put it on. Off, my bad. I'm only gonna put it on for about 15 seconds. And this should be able to make sure that it's all the way down. So I'm just let this count down. I'm actually not even gonna skip this part. Probably gonna fast forward it so you won't even hear me talking. I'll mute this. Cool. Rise it, swing it, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. I'm gonna pull this out. Give it some time to stick on there. Then remove it. Now I'm gonna let this dry on here, and as you can see, there's a few blotch spots like here and there, but that was from when I actually was cutting it. That was on me. So you do want to be careful with messing it up, because on the paper it feels kind of wet, and I think I probably just scratched it with my thumb or when it wasn't being careful. But as you can see, I do like how this turned out. I mean, that could have been better, but oh well.